In the previous two lectures, I talked about how to maintain independent self and pursue freedom in social norms and group influences. In fact, the social environment not only influences our behavior through authority and rules. For every individual, there has always been an invisible force that has been shaping our development from childhood to adulthood, and that is social class. In this lecture, I will share with you why a person's social class at birth can determine whether their annual salary as an adult is $50,000 or $5 million. And how to break through this class barrier. 7 Up, a reality show about social class. There is a saying in England, "Give me a child at 7, and I will show you the man." In 1964, a young director named Michael Apted was inspired by this saying and began one of the greatest longitudinal studies in the field of social psychology. He wanted to answer a question: can your social class at birth determine your future? Apted interviewed 14 7-year-old children from different social classes in England. Every 7 years thereafter, Apted would re-interview these children, record their conditions, and listen to their stories. His interviews formed a documentary that spans half a century, called 7 Up. This documentary faithfully records the lives of these children from childhood to adolescence, youth, middle age, and beyond. You can see these 14 children at the ages of 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, and 56. These children come from different social classes, some from the wealthy Kensington district of London, some from the middle class, and some from the poor slums or even welfare homes. Although they come from different social classes and have different manners and behaviors, they were all carefree and likable at the age of 7. Some dreamed of going to Oxford or Cambridge, some wanted to travel the world, some wanted to help refugees in Africa, and some wanted to become astronauts. The future seemed to be full of possibilities for them. However, the reality is cruel. These children from wealthy families graduated from law school at Oxford or Cambridge and became famous lawyers, earning more than 5 million yuan a year and having happy families. Children from middle-class families became teachers, civil servants, and maintained their middle-class lives. Children from poor families did not go to college and became porters and bricklayers, earning only about 50,000 yuan a year. Why is it difficult for the poor to become rich? 7 Up conveys a very harsh message, that is, social class is solidified, the poor get poorer, the rich get richer. In psychology, we call this phenomenon the Matthew effect. It comes from a sentence in the New Testament of the Bible: "For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away." The Matthew effect explains that when a person accumulates advantages in some aspects, such as money, fame, and status, they will have more opportunities to achieve greater success. Is it really difficult for the poor to become rich? You may remember that in Lecture 16 on self-esteem, I mentioned that children from poor families have limited brain development in language, memory, and self-regulation. Therefore, when we compare children from wealthy and poor families, we should not only see the superficial differences in wealth, but also the more critical factors hidden beneath the surface. Below, I will analyze with you the deep reasons for class solidification from 3 levels: personal character, growth environment, and education. Class solidification is the quality that creates wealth. A wealthy child participating in 7 Up said that the audience only saw them going to Oxford and Cambridge step by step, but did not see them burying themselves in homework late at night, nor did they see them giving up many hobbies to get into Oxford and Cambridge. In fact, in the documentary, you can see that children from wealthy families have shown many outstanding qualities since childhood. For example, at the age of 7, children from wealthy families already had very clear life plans. They wanted to go to Oxford University and become famous lawyers. The dreams of middle-class children at the age of 7 are often grand but not practical, such as opposing racial discrimination. The dreams of children from poor families at that time were just to avoid being beaten and scolded. Children from wealthy families also perform better in physical exercise and diet control. At the age of 56, the wealthy children still maintain very good physical shape, while children from poor families, although quite handsome in their youth, have almost all become obese at the age of 56. Their descendants, although only in their 20s, are mostly overweight. In Lecture 26, I specifically mentioned that self-control is a very effective indicator for predicting success in life. Imagine if you can't even control your own weight, how can you have the perseverance to control your life and persist in pursuing your goals? These excellent qualities of wealthy children are not innate, but closely related to the upbringing of their parents. In 7-Up, wealthy families usually have only 2 children, while poor families usually have 3 to 5 children. Wealthy parents usually have more stable marriages. Therefore, wealthy children can get more material resources and more lasting emotional care from their parents. From these phenomena, you can see that the solidification of the wealthy class is not wealth itself, but the solidification of the inner qualities that can maintain and create wealth.